Hello everybody and welcome back to our channel. Today we'll be reviewing the bay-wide walk-in cabinet. It uses partitions in a smart way. Let's discover how. When we talk about walk-in cabinets, there are multiple ways of building a walk-in cabinet. A most common way is actually building a closet without its doors. And so we remain with a structure which has partitions, back panels, accessories, basically a closet without doors. But sometimes with this sort of approach, you would have a partition which comes out like with its standard depth of 58 centimeters, let's say. And so you don't have the perception of a walk-in cabinet. And Bay-wide has found a solution in which way, basically we have partitions which support the overall structures. The structure is not supported by the back panel, it's not supported by metal uprights, it is supported by these partitions. These partitions are rather thin, they are 22 millimeters, okay, and they are kept shallow. So when you are walking in front of your walk-in cabinet, you don't perceive these partitions to be intrusive, and they actually give you the perception of a real, effective walk-in cabinet. So, as we said multiple times, this review is a review of this specific composition and not necessarily the whole collection, because you can build hundreds, let's say thousands of different walk-in cabinets composition. Here we have a total width of 351 centimeters with a height of 255. It is custom made by the millimeter, so I don't even have to list all the standard measures, because on top of that you can customize any element, especially those elements without drawers are easier to customize. Then you have three standard heights, 229, 255 and 277, and you can customize height as well. In theory you could customize depth as well, but I can say that depth is meant to be kept standard, because otherwise you would lose the functionality of the walk-in cabinet itself. What I like of this model is I would say, contrast that you perceive when you compare the rather thin partitions, 22 millimeters, and the rather thick shelves, which are 35 millimeters. And I also like the way that LED lighting is placed right at the front edge of the partition, and it creates a nice effect. It's a good approach not to blind eyes when looking at the LED partitions, but here it's a rather dim ambient, and I can tell that the LEDs actually have the right intensity to give the right effect without blinding the user or viewer. This is a linear composition. You can build also corner composition starting from the corner element. In this case, here at the left, we see a wide closet, and so the first partition is shared with the wide closet at the left, but of course we can imagine this partition to be the starting partition of the walk-in cabinet if we imagine it by itself. So we have three columns which are 95 centimeters each. Let's discuss them. We have the base unit. In a walk-in cabinet, it's quite standard. You could have a walk-in cabinet without the base unit, so you would have the floor there, but well, you would not lay your bag, your shoe boxes, your stuff on the floor, so it's good to have this lower panel. Here we have trousers accessory with all these removable bars. I really like the way it's built. I'm normally not in favor of this sort of accessories. I prefer to hang trousers, but this is my taste. What do you prefer? You prefer an accessory like this, or you prefer to hang trousers on these sort of hangers? Write it in the comments. But this is very well built, and I love the rounded perimeter, which actually works as a handle. It's really well built. I love it. Then we have standard hanging bar here and the upper shelf. This is quite common for walk-in cabinets. You know, you don't normally use the higher shelf. The higher shelf is basically like a roof to the closet. With walk-in cabinets, every walk-in cabinet is different in the sense that a higher shelf is normally used on top of it. because you don't have a roof, let's say. So this is the higher shelf, okay? Here we have the second column. It's built in a slightly different way because we kept the hanging space here, the upper shelf there. But here, instead of the trouser accessory, we have a hanging drawers unit with 2 drawers. And the casellario, it's basically an accessory for shirts. You could also place accessory, not only nice to look at, but also quite convenient. One thing about the drawers, they're really well built. The inside is this in gray textured laminate. They don't have the estrazione totale, which means the full pull-out system. So there's a part of something like 7-8 centimeters that could be pulled out more, but it doesn't. But you know, this feature is very important on kitchens. I can say it's nice also on walk-in cabinet or on closets, but I can say that if you place your socks or your tiny accessories, it's not strictly needed, but it's good to know. Then we have the third column. Well, we don't need to comment it because it's absolutely identical to the second. And we get to the last one, the fourth in this composition, which is a 54 centimeters column, which is all made with shelves. This is a common approach. This is what I suggest to clients. Well, you have a column which is narrower, smaller than other columns. Well, plan it all with shelves, because you know you could put a hanging bar here as well, but it works best if you fill your smaller columns with multiple shelves like this. Let's talk about materials. We have loads of material to choose and finishes to choose from. We have laminates, multiple laminates, wooden laminates, texture laminates, plain laminates. Here, for example, we have the natural walnut laminate. I must say that it's a competitive finish, which it has a very good quality-price ratio. It's very practical, and it has a good look. I mean, I can perceive it's not real wood, especially if I move and look at the edge. You can tell the difference between real wood, like fashion wood, on like the Bliss Player collection. But it's a good quality laminate. I do appreciate it. And then we have a different approach, because you can have a lacquered finish with the whole matte lacquer colors of the collection, which are 25 colors, on top of laminate materials. So you can have oak laminate, which is then colored with all the 25 or something colors of the collections, or you could have this skin effect laminate. It actually looks like leather in terms of touch and looks, and so it is a laminate. It's not MDF, which is then lacquered, but on top of this laminate, then you get the full range of colors. And here we have the nude color, and I can tell, well, basically this nude color is basically a pinkish color, and I can say it's perceived as a girly color, but with this sort of shade, which is not too pink, it creates a nice vibe, and it's perfect for both for women or whatever you feel like. And so much customization, not only in terms of dimensions, but also in terms of materials and finishes. So we've come to the end of today's product review about the bay-wide walk-in cabinet collection with shallow partitions so that it appears lighter. It's as flexible as a closet without doors. I would say even convenient, but with this perception of much space and the convenience to move around. I hope that you like it, and see you next time.